with the Art of Living for about 15 years, and he's been a teacher for 7. During this time, he's taught CEOs, Nobel laureates, and a lot of people. So we're very lucky to have a person like him here. So please, let's welcome him.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All of you look too serious. How many of you here are Silicon Valley professionals? Looks like a lot of you. I too am a Silicon Valley professional as well. I have a daytime job, actually work at a company called VMware, where I run their marketing division. And I also volunteer for the Art of Living Foundation and teach programs around the country. So, would you like to start with something where, we loosen up a little bit, and this is a happiness seminar, it's not a seriousness seminar, right? Yes or no? Yeah? Would you like to loosen up a little bit? Do you want to hear a story?
Yes.
See, for me, whenever I teach classes or give seminars, I'm a very strong believer in, my output is directly proportional to the level of enthusiasm from the audience. So would you like to hear a story?
Yes.
Okay. So, how many of you, I'm not sure if any of you have heard this before, but this is the story of the boatman and the scientist. Has anyone heard that before? 1, 2 people. Okay. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's say there's a scientist from Silicon Valley. Okay. Let's say, I don't want to pick a particular company. You know what? Let's say maybe a scientist from VMware. Are there folks from Cisco or Juniper or other places? Which company are you from? Cisco. Okay, let's pick Cisco. I'll love to. Cisco fits very well into all stories.
It's so big, it can fit everywhere.
Exactly, it's a big company. In every business, it fits everywhere. Let's say there's a scientist from Cisco who's gone on, and he's on a vacation. And let's say he goes to, do you know any place here in California where there's a lake and there is no cell phone signal?
Lake Tahoe.
Okay, Lake Tahoe. Let's say this scientist goes to Lake Tahoe and he hops onto a boat. And what do scientists, what do all of us carry with us these days? Phones, a smartphone where you get your emails, you get everything. And what happens when you don't have a signal? You get so bored. Isn't that true? Yeah? So the scientist hops onto the boat, there is no signal, and the scientist strikes a conversation with the boatman. So he asked the boatman, and this scientist, he's got multiple PhDs and so on, a very worthy employee of Cisco, okay? So he's got multiple PhDs, so he first asked this boatman, Mr. Boatman, do you know anything about physics or math or chemistry? What's the boat, and what do you think the boatman is going to say? No, right? If he'd known physics or math or chemistry, what would he be doing? Yeah, maybe he'd be at Cisco. Yeah? So, boatman says no, and then the scientist tells him, oh my God, you know what? I think 25% of your life is a waste, not knowing elementary basic science. Then they go a little further. Again, scientist starts getting bored. So he asks the boatman a question. Mr. Boatman, do you know anything about the physical, mechanical working things of your boat? Do you know how your boat is built? What are the underlying mechanics and so on? What's the boatman's answer going to be?
No.
Yeah, if he knew that, he'd be building boats, right? Not rowing boats. And the scientist again says, oh my God, not knowing physics or math was bad enough. The fact that you don't know anything about your boat, I think 50% of your life is a waste. Okay. Then they go a little further. Where is the scientist from? What's his question going to be? Routers, okay. Routers, switches, networking gear. What's this question going to be? Mr. Boatman, do you know anything about? Networking gear, routers. And what's the boatman's answer? No. If he'd known all that, he'd definitely be at Cisco. Right? And then the scientist says, oh my God, you know what? 75% of your life is a waste. Then they go a little further, and now the boatman starts speaking up. Says, you know, Mr. Scientist, I have one question for you. And that question is, do you know how to swim? Scientist says no. And then the boatman tells him, let me tell you something. 100% of your life is going to go waste. There's a hole in this boat, and it's about to capsize. Does this story remind us of something? What's the moral of the story?
Don't work at Cisco.
Don't work at Cisco. Any other morals of the story? You know, this is very similar to how we lead our lives. You know, we spend a lot of time, going to school, getting a degree, undergraduate degree, graduate degree. Maybe some people here have an MBA. We do all these things. You go to work, individual contributor, manager, director, vice president. You have the entire gamut of titles to work with. And we end up getting caught in each of these things. And again, don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying these things are bad. I mean, I work as a director at my company, and I definitely believe that it's good to be on the corporate ladder. It's good to go up the ladder. But at the same time, what is equally important, if not more, is the fact that we haven't paid attention to our insides. You know, neither at school nor anywhere else. I mean, you don't even get this in MBA school. Nobody teaches you how to manage your mind, manage emotions, manage stress in your life. What's the best advice that you've heard in stress management or mind management? Take a deep breath in, breathe out, or don't be angry. Right? Does that work? It's a question. Does that work? No. If it had worked, we would all be in a utopian society right now. Yes or no? Yeah? So somewhere clearly we have not been taught these things. Something very basic, very elementary to our life. Knowledge about our own mind, knowledge about our emotions, our thoughts, and really knowledge about our own inner workings. Yeah? Make sense? Question for all of you. Say you're actually driving your car, you're backing up, and you're in a parking lot, and you very so gently you hit one of the posts, and you have a very small dent in your car. Okay? And then you drive the car away. So just because you've driven the car away, does that dent disappear by itself? Yes or no? No. Right? What do you need to do? Fix it. You need to take it to the body shop. Fix it, right? Similarly, in all our lives, we've all gone through events. Is there anyone here whose life has always been rosy? Is there any person here who's not had ups and downs in their lives? Are you sure? Yeah? Okay, so we agree that all of us have been through events where something has happened. And whether you recognize it or not, whether you realize it or not, each event most definitely leaves a dent at the physiological level and the psychological level. See that? A lot of our thought patterns, there's certain things where you have an inherent fear about. Maybe standing in front of a big audience and speaking. How many of us feel really comfortable talking in front of hundreds of people? Not everyone, right? Very few. So there are lots of things that affect us at a mental level and absolutely at a physical level as well. Do you guys know which country spends the most in healthcare? Our very own country. We spend probably twice or thrice more than any other country in the world. And why is that? Stress and the inability. We haven't learned how to deal with events. We haven't learned how to deal with our emotions. We haven't learned how to deal with our minds. And we haven't learned to find that happy center for ourselves. Isn't it true? When you're happy, are you stressed? Do you worry about things when you're happy? No, right? But has anyone taught you how to be happy? So this is where the Art of Living Foundation plays a very big role. And this is what has inspired me to volunteer for this foundation, teach programs and so on. The crux of what we teach in the Art of Living has got to do with a very powerful tool which helps us manage our mind. It helps us deal with emotions. And it definitely takes us to a happier place. And that tool is not far away. It's right next to you. You know what that is? Any guesses? It's your own breath. It's amazing. Actually, let me ask you a question. Have any of you observed your breathing patterns when you're angry? Have any of you observed? If you manage to observe. Usually when you're angry, we don't observe stuff. We're all about, venting it out on the other person. Right? Yes or no? Yeah, but have you observed how your breathing pattern is when you're angry? How is it? You're getting ready to go and punch the person. Yes or no? That's how it is, So you'll be amazed to know that there is a direct link between your breathing patterns, the emotions that you experience, and the state of your mind, which in turn also relates to you being in your happy center or not. I can give you guys a PhD on breathing. Theoretically, I can tell all about the breath, what it does, so on. But I'm a very strong believer in direct experience. Are you all ready for the direct experience? Do you want to jump to it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to learn now is a very simple technique. It's called the bellows breath. So let me demonstrate once, and then we can all do it together. Very simple. I just keep my arms by my side with a loose fist. And if you're sitting on a chair, you may want to move a little bit forward, just to make sure we do this properly. And as I breathe in, my hands go up, fist open. As I breathe out, hands come down, fist close. Inhalation, forceful exhalation. Inhalation, forceful exhalation. So let me just do a few rounds and you can watch me do it. Easy? Yeah? As you breathe in, hands go up, palms open. As you breathe out, hands come down, palms close. Yeah, and we have some of our volunteers here who have something very precious for you. You may need it in case you just hold it out for them. In case you need this, feel free to grab one.
Wait.
There's some.
Breathe in. Breathe in.
Yeah.
How long you have to do it?
Surprise, suspense, we'll do it together, okay? Okay. So, very simple, right? Nothing too complicated, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, what's the catch here? What do you think is the catch here? Yeah, there's only one catch, and that is that throughout this process, we will keep our eyes closed. Fair enough? See, all that's going to happen is say, you open your eyes and you look at someone else, all that you're going to see is them breathing in, out, up, down. They're going to go back home happy and you're like, oh my God, I have to come to one more of these. These breathing techniques can take you yeah? So, it's good to keep your eyes closed. And let's actually do this exercise. Have a nice good look at your right side, left side, front, back, up, down. Anything or any person that may captivate your attention and make you open your eyes. Have a nice good look before you close your eyes. They will all be here the same. The things will be here, the people will be here, and we open our eyes. Don't worry, okay? Ready for it? Yeah? So what I'll do is I'll just instruct all of you. We just breathe in and out. And at some point, I'll just say put your hands down and rest your palms on your lap facing the ceiling. So it's like this. So all you need to do is just like this. We'll probably do like 2 or 3 rounds of this. And all you need to do is just follow the instructions. And you may open your eyes when I tell you this. You can open your eyes. Ready? Okay, eyes closed. Arms by your side with a loose fist. And together, let's do it. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, palms open, down, palms closed, up, down, 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 and relax. Continue to keep your eyes closed and keep your palms on your lap facing the ceiling and observe what is happening inside you. Continuing to keep your eyes closed. You can bring your arms by your side with a loose fist. And together. Up, down, 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 and relax. Eyes closed, palms on your lap. And with the eyes closed, again arms by your side, loose fist for one final round. And let's begin. Up, down, 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 and relax. Arms on your lap. And observe what's happening inside you. Observe the state of your mind. taking a deep breath in. Breathe out through your mouth. One more deep breath in. Whenever you feel complete, you may slowly, gradually open your eyes. Good. Notice any difference? Notice any difference in your mind? Just be able to observe how calmer the room feels. Yeah. And it's amazing what a little bit of breathing can do. It's really amazing. And another, there are different sources of energy that we have in our lives. Do you all know what are the various sources of energy for us? Food is one. Sun, yeah. Sun translates into food. Yeah, for us it translates into food. What else is a source of energy? Air,
Water.
breathing, okay.
Water.
Water, okay. Water, food, all bundled in one category. Exercise, breathing. What else? Mental relaxation. There's another word for it. Sleep is one, yeah. Sleep is one type of mental relaxation. That's a source of energy. Can you? How long can you go on without sleep? 6 hours.
36 hours.
36 hours. Okay.
You can go on around those ways.
Yeah. At some point you need to sleep, right? And there's another form of mental relaxation, which is meditation. Yeah. So, would you all like to experience the meditation? Yeah? Would you like to do that? I'd like to invite Patty Montella. So she's another senior teacher of the Art of Living. She's actually been my mentor and teacher as well. We're really lucky. She travels around the world. She's here from Denver. We have a training class going on here. She's here to facilitate it. And, let's give her a big round of applause. And welcome.
Hey, no snow here. It's nice. We have plenty of snow if you want to come to Colorado. That was really great, Naren. Thank you so much. So when he was talking about the sources of energy, food is a source of energy. Too much food, too little food, we know what happens. Sleep is a source of energy. Anybody have trouble falling asleep at night? Really? Because in America, insomnia is almost an epidemic. Yeah? Are you able to turn your mind off at night? How many are like, wow, it takes me a while to just shut the computer down? Yeah, anybody? I used to wake up at 3 in the morning and think I was the most creative person in the world. But all these ideas would come flooding through, and then I found out it was stress. And meditation is a key source of energy along with the breath, with what we just learned. So what happens with our mind is that it has these different tendencies. One of the tendencies is to vacillate between the past and the future. So when you're thinking about something that's happened in the past, what emotion are you feeling? What usually tends to come up? Fear, regret. Yeah, some happiness, you might have some pleasant memories. But usually, anytime you're angry, it's about something that already happened, right? Anybody have anger, or is it just me that anger comes up sometimes? Am I the only one? Okay, I didn't think so. So whenever we're angry, it's about something that already happened. Whenever we're sad, feeling sorrow, regret, shame, any of these negative emotions, it's about the past. We also tend to glorify the past Do you ever say to yourself, God, it was so much better when? You're right? And when you were in that present moment, it might have not been so great, but because you don't want to be here now in this present moment, wow, it was so much better when. We tend to glorify the past. Another tendency of the mind is we tend to cling to the negative. Have you noticed that? Somebody gives you 10 compliments, which would be so easy to do with all of you here in the room today, and then they say, but. The one thing that I think you should work on is, whatever that might be. When you go to bed at night, what happens? Boy, you chew on it, right? We go to bed and we say to ourselves, and I'm going to tell them this, that, and the other thing tomorrow, and just wait till I see them. I'm going to tell them what I don't think they are doing, you know, if it's correct or not correct. So the mind tends to cling to the negative. Somebody can do so many wonderful things, and then sometimes we end up focusing just on what they're not doing right. Maybe you have children, and that habit comes up in your life, and you don't want that habit to be there, but you can't seem to help yourself because you want the best for your child. That seems to happen quite a bit, or your loved one. It's because the tendency of the mind is to cling to the negative. I can't do it. It's going to be difficult. I don't like it. It's not going to happen. Really? Who knows? When the yes comes to the mind, it brings peace, and no brings conflict. There's a third major tendency of the mind, and that's to agree and disagree. See, while I'm talking right now, and the speakers have been talking, you have been saying, yeah, it sounds good. I like it. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Has that been happening? The judgment back and forth. These three tendencies create a lot of stress in the nervous system, quite a lot of stress. And what I have found is that meditation, which is letting go of all effort, brings so much peace inside, so much equanimity, so much dynamism and clarity of thought and focus and creativity that whether things are going well or things are challenging, when I'm at peace from the inside out, there can be chaos all around. And I'll be able to move through it with skill, with grace. I'll feel empowered, and I'll be able to uplift others. Do you think that's a good way to move through life? Yeah, rather than the other way, isn't it? So I find that learning to meditate requires a coach. Have you taught yourself to meditate? Anybody in here? A few of you? Good. Now, how many of you have gone to a coach to learn to go a little bit deeper in meditation? Anybody? Just a few of you. Okay. It's kind of like swimming. If somebody throws you in the water, you'll figure out something. But if you have a coach, like we have the Olympics going on right now, they're really trained athletes, isn't it? They know how to ski better than, definitely, if you went down the mountain with me, you'd want to go with an Olympic athlete. And so when you come to the art of living, along with the breathing techniques and the ancient wisdom, you begin to learn how to meditate, which is like a vacation without having to take luggage, either emotionally or physically. You can just close your eyes, let go of all effort. That is the one time you can be completely irresponsible for 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening, and be inside with yourself. And then, I call it my spiritual armor. When I am back out after I've taken the nice dip in the cool, calm waters of meditation, then when I go back out into the world, I'm a nicer person. I have more bandwidth, more capacity. I can keep my smile no matter what's going on. And I'm able to contribute to my life and to others' lives and to society as a greater whole. And that just feels a whole lot better than sitting with my thoughts late at night seeking revenge or worrying about what might happen. We don't know what's going to happen. The present moment's where the joy is. So rather than talking about taking a nice dip in the cool, calm, energizing ocean of yourself, why don't we do it together? Does this sound good? Yeah? Really? Naren got all that nice, exciting enthusiasm? Come on! Does it sound good?
Yes.
All right, it sounds great. So how about I take care of it for you today? All you have to do is keep breathing. You're breathing now, right? Everybody's breathing? Please do not stop breathing. And you don't have to breathe any special way, just the way it's happening all on its own, in and out of your nostrils. And we can sit up straight. And take those cell phones that keep grabbing your attention, let them meditate for the next few minutes too. Turn off the vibrate, turn off the sound. And let's just see what that experience is from the inside out. We spend so much time in the world, correct? Our eyes are always looking, thinking, worrying, judging, analyzing, anticipating. And the breath is that link from the outer world of activity to the inner world of the self, where the calm, cool, endless, infinite ocean of all the riches in life reside are deep in the self. It's our seventh layer of existence. There's the body, the breath, the mind, the intellect, the memory, the ego. Anybody know about the ego in here? A little bit. Only in other people, right? Not in you. In the ego, but the self is the seventh, it's the highest layer of existence. And I really appreciated what Naren was saying, is that nowhere are we taught how to abide in the self, how to be in that ocean of bliss, until sometimes we're just looking for a life raft. So better to learn it now, so you can navigate those waters with skill and grace. It's where the real juice is. So all you have to do is sit back and relax, let your breath go on its own, and I'll lead us in a guided meditation and just see what happens. Ready for takeoff? All right. So we'll close our eyes, take a nice deep full breath in, and let it go as you breathe out. Relax those shoulders. Another deep full breath in, hold the breath, and let go. Relax the whole body. Just let your chair feel the full weight of your body. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, but to be here, right now, in the present moment. Another deep, full breath in. Really use those lungs and slowly breathe out, letting go of all effort. Become aware of any noises around. You can hear the lights buzzing. We can hear people breathing. Just accept all the noises. Be in harmony with your environment. Let's take a deep, full breath in and relax. with your environment. Become aware of your body. Your body is a precious gift given in love from nature. Love your body dearly. Become aware of your feet. Your legs, thighs and hips. Become aware of the genital area. Stomach. Abdomen. Chest. Right arm. Left arm. Neck. Face. Head. The whole body. The whole body. Let's take a deep, full breath in.